Let's get started with today's story. I met Bridget 8 years ago. She was beautiful, full of life, and had this way of making everything feel exciting. When we first got together, I truly believed she was the one. We were married for 5 years, and in the beginning, everything was great. We laughed a lot, traveled, made plans for the future. I worked hard, and she enjoyed the comfortable life I provided. I didn't mind. It made me happy to see her happy. But somewhere along the way, things changed. At some point in our marriage, Bridget became different. I don't know exactly when it started, but I began to notice the shift. She started going out all the time, spending money like we had an unlimited supply, and barely spending any time with me. At first, I tried to ignore it. I told myself maybe she just needed space. Maybe she was stressed. Maybe things would get better. But they didn't. They got worse. I'd wake up in the middle of the night to find her side of the bed empty. She'd come home at ridiculous hours, reeking of alcohol and perfume that wasn't hers. Our bank account was draining fast, expensive dinners, weekend trips, new clothes. But when I asked her about it, she always had an excuse. Oh, it was a girls' night. Oh, just some retail therapy. Oh, stop being so paranoid, Richard. I wanted to believe her, but deep down, I knew something wasn't right. Then one night she came home at nearly 2 in the morning, giggling on the phone as she stepped inside. She saw me sitting on the couch, watching her, and sighed dramatically. What? She said, tossing her purse down. I stood up. Bridget, we need to talk. She rolled her eyes. About what, Richard? I took a deep breath. You know what? She crossed her arms, already defensive. Oh, here we go again. I wasn't letting her brush me off this time. You're never home, I said firmly. You're always out, spending money like crazy. And when you are here, you barely even talk to me. What the hell is going on? Her expression didn't change. If anything, she looked bored. Nothing's going on, she said, shrugging. I'm just enjoying my life. Since when is that a crime? Enjoying your life? I scoffed. Are you even aware we're married? Because it sure doesn't feel like it anymore. She laughed, shaking her head. Oh, please, you're so dramatic. This isn't drama, Bridget. This is real. You're acting like you don't even care about this marriage. She let out a sharp breath. That's not true, she snapped. But I'm tired of you always trying to control me. And you know what? That's when she said it. I'm not afraid to replace you. The words struck like a slap, and for a moment, everything went still. I just stared at her. My heart pounded in my chest, but my face remained neutral. What did you just say? She met my eyes without flinching. You heard me. A cold chill ran down my spine. What the hell did she mean by that? Replace me? For the first time, I felt it. Certainty. She wasn't just acting different. She was different. We kept arguing, but I barely heard her after that. My mind was racing. My gut feeling had been screaming at me for months. And now I had to know for sure. She grabbed her purse and stormed out, slamming the door behind her. But this time I didn't feel angry. I didn't feel hurt. I felt focused. That one sentence kept replaying in my head. I'm not afraid to replace you. Something was wrong, and I was going to find out what. I started paying closer attention. I watched her more carefully, noted her behavior. I even started checking our bank statements to see where all the money was going. Expensive dinners at places we'd never been to together. Hotel charges, late-night Uber rides. Something wasn't adding up. Then one evening I came home earlier than usual. I walked in, set my keys down, and was about to call out to Bridget when I heard her voice. Soft, flirty, and not meant for me. I froze. She was on the phone. I know, baby, she was saying. I miss you too. I hate sneaking around like this. My stomach twisted. I stepped forward, and just as I did, my phone rang. A message had come through. Bridget spun around so fast it was like she had seen a ghost. Her face went pale and she fumbled with her phone before saying, I'll talk to you later, and quickly hanging up. Who was that? I asked, my voice calm but firm. She let out a nervous laugh. Oh, just Melissa. Melissa? The same friend she barely even talked to anymore? I didn't believe her for a second, but I also didn't push it. Not yet. She gave me a tight smile, grabbed her purse, and walked out the door. That was it. That was the moment I knew. Bridget was cheating on me. That night I waited for her to fall asleep. Then I took her phone. I wasn't the jealous type. I never had been. But after what I had just heard, I had to know. I went through her messages. Instagram, WhatsApp, emails, nothing. Not a single thing. She had either deleted everything or was using another phone. I clenched my jaw. She was careful. Too careful. But if she thought she could hide this from me forever, she was wrong. The next morning I called a private investigator. His name was Daniel, and I met him at a quiet cafe across town. He was in his 50s, with sharp eyes and a no-nonsense attitude. I told him everything, her late nights, her reckless spending, the phone call, and how she had erased all traces of anything suspicious. He nodded, jotting down notes. Sounds like she's definitely up to something. I exhaled. Can you find out for sure? He smirked. That's what I do. I hired him on the spot. A few days later, Daniel called me. Richard, we need to meet. I met him in his office, and the second I stepped in, I saw them. The photos. Bridget. And him. The man was tall, with dark hair and a smug look on his face. In one photo, he had his arm around her in a dimly lit bar. In another, they were at a restaurant, her hand resting on his. Then, the worst one. Bridget standing outside his house, kissing him before they walked inside together. I stared at the pictures, my body completely still. For a moment I felt nothing. Then, like a flood, the emotions hit me all at once. Anger, disgust, humiliation. I had suspected it. Deep down, I had known. But seeing it with my own eyes? That was something else entirely. Daniel cleared his throat. His name is Mike. I tailed them for 3 days. It's not just a fling. She's practically living a double life. I clenched my fists. I see that. Daniel gave me a look. What do you want to do? I grabbed the folder with the photos, then took a deep breath. I'm going to handle this the right way. The next morning I woke up before Bridget. She was still asleep, curled up under the blankets like nothing had happened, like she wasn't sneaking around behind my back. I stared at her for a moment, feeling nothing but disgust. Then, without a word, I got up, got dressed, and left the house. I drove straight to a lawyer's office. No hesitation, no second thoughts. The lawyer, a sharp-looking man, listened intently as I laid out the details. I told him everything, how she was never home, how she was draining our bank account, and most importantly, how she had been involved with another man. He leaned back in his chair and nodded. You have proof? I pulled out the folder from my bag and showed him the photos. Perfect, he said. This will make things a lot easier for you. That was what I wanted to hear. I told him I wanted the divorce to be fast and clean. No negotiations, no drawn-out fights. I wanted her to walk away with nothing. He smirked. You came to the right guy. I signed the paperwork, shook his hand, and walked out feeling lighter. That night, I acted like nothing had changed. When Bridget came home, I greeted her with a smile. I even asked how her day was. She barely responded, too busy texting someone. Probably him. Good. Let her feel comfortable. Let her think she got away with it. Over the next few days, I played the role of the clueless husband. I made her coffee in the morning. I asked if she wanted to watch a movie together. I even complimented her outfit. She ate it up. She had no idea that while she was sneaking around, I was getting ready to throw her out of my life for good. 3 days later, the papers were ready. I picked them up from my lawyer and sat in my car staring at the thick stack of documents. This was it, the final step. I called my best friend Joseph and asked him to meet me at a cafe. When he arrived, I wasted no time. I explained everything to him. How Bridget had been acting distant, staying out late, spending money recklessly, and how she'd been seeing someone else. Joseph listened quietly, his expression serious as I shared the details. After I finished, Joseph gave me a look, taking a moment to process what I'd said. Finally, I asked him for a favor. I needed him to serve Bridget with the divorce papers. She didn't know yet, and I wanted it to be a surprise. Joseph was quiet for a second, but then he agreed. He understood what I was asking, and despite the gravity of it, he was ready to help me carry it out. It was a quiet afternoon. Bridget and I were sitting in the living room. She was scrolling through her phone, probably texting her boyfriend. I was pretending to watch TV. Then there was a knock on the door. I opened it, and Joseph walked in, holding a folder. Without a word, he handed it to Bridget. Here you go, he said. giving her a quick nod before turning and leaving. Bridget looked down at the folder, confusion crossing her face. "What is this?" I didn't answer. I just leaned back in my chair and watched as she opened it. Her face went pale. "What the hell is this?" "You tell me," I said. She looked up at me, eyes wide. "Richard, these are divorce papers." "Yeah," I said flatly. Her hands started shaking. "What? I don't… Why?" I raised an eyebrow. "Why? Really?" She swallowed hard. "Richard, come on, you don't mean this." "Oh, I do," I said. "You wanted to replace me, right? Well, now's your chance. Pack your stuff. Get out." Her mouth opened and closed, but no words came out. "I transferred all the money from our joint account, by the way," I added casually. "Figured I'd keep what's mine." Her eyes widened. "You what?" "You heard me," I said. "You can go stay with your new boyfriend now." She flinched. "What? Who? What are you talking about?" I smirked. "Come on, Bridget. I know everything." I pulled a few photos of them from my bag and placed them on the table between us. Her eyes scanned the images. Bridget with the other man, laughing, touching, kissing, each one sharper than the last. "What is this?" she gasped, her voice shaking. "Where did you get these?" "I hired a private investigator," I said. I let the silence stretch, watching her eyes flicker in panic. Then she exploded. "You put someone to follow me behind my back? You invaded my privacy? That's disgusting, Richard." I laughed. A cold, bitter sound. "Oh, I'm the disgusting one? That's rich." She stood up, her knees weak, tears welling in her eyes. "You're really doing this?" "I am," I said, crossing my arms. "Now are you going to pack your stuff or do you need help?" She stormed off, slamming the bedroom door. I heard her sobbing as she packed. But I didn't care. She made her choice. The divorce went smoothly, for me at least. Bridget tried to fight. She whined, cried, begged. Then she got angry, demanding half of everything. But the moment my lawyer presented the proof of her cheating, her case collapsed. She got nothing, not a damn thing. No money, no house, no alimony, nothing. She screamed at me in the courtroom after the ruling. "You can't do this to me, Richard." I just smiled. I already did. Eventually, she moved in with Mike. But I didn't care. For the first time in years, I felt free. No more arguments. No more watching my wife slip away from me. No more being made to feel like I wasn't good enough. I focused on myself. I hit the gym, went out with friends, took a few trips, even started dating again. Bridget became nothing more than a bad memory. One evening a few months later, my phone buzzed. "Hey, can we talk?" she wrote. I stared at the screen, my fingers hovering over the device. I set it down without replying. An hour later, another message popped up. "Please, Richard, just give me 5 minutes." Still, I didn't respond. The next night I was at home watching TV when a knock at the door interrupted the quiet. I got up, opened it, and there she was, Bridget. She looked terrible. Messy hair, dark circles under her eyes, her expensive makeup smudged. She wasn't the confident, smug woman who had laughed in my face months ago. She looked defeated. "Richard, please," she said softly, her voice shaking. "I made a mistake." I leaned against the door frame. "Oh, you think?" Her eyes welled with tears. "Mike. He wasn't who I thought he was. We broke up." I smirked. "Wow, shocking." She swallowed hard. "I don't have anywhere to go." I let out a low whistle. "So what, you thought you'd just come back here? Back to me?" She sniffled. "Can we just talk?" She reached for my arm, but I stepped back. "Talk about what?" I asked. "How you threw away our marriage for some loser? How you laughed at me behind my back?" "I was stupid," she whispered. "I thought the grass was greener, but it wasn't. I miss you. I miss us." I shook my head. "There is no us anymore." She wiped her eyes. "Richard, please. I regret everything." I sighed. "Yeah? Well, I don't." And then I shut the door in her face. I heard her sobbing outside for a while, but I didn't care. She made her choice, and I made mine. I never looked back. Thank you for watching.